Guerrero, Guerrero, de vida mía, y vecina Guaramu, y Burosquilla, si hay Guerrero, Guerrero, de vida mía, y vecina Guaramu, y Burosquilla, si hay Guerrero, Guerrero, de vida mía. Oh, let it go, Navarayale, Consumi dueño, Neremu Ayau, Wanasi. Wanicho, watuwenyu, kipeti kuwerero, ai, niduwenyu, agamba amana, yene muha ya bego, tutaruma nani kibabi, yene muha bu, lumujuro, yene muha bu, lagayo, ai yene muha bu, lumada, kamba mana yagi, kaka mbei, nibari manasa, hama wani gunda, jadi buko, nikizara. Mapuleta mwinga Warisi Warari Sisi lamba Kipetinya warami Nipuro kiya Siya ya heo merego Emika miya Kipetinya warami Nipuro kiya Siya ya heo merego Emika miya Kansa wengiye, mayano wabali wanasiwo, wanagoyo minuweyo, anegana libuga. Kansa wengiye, mayano wabali wanasiwo, wanagoyo, wamulinda wamundi wanasiwo, wamulinda waimu, wenga puduto, wamulinda wamundi, wenga pudito, wamulinda wamundi, waniye adolo mamo, wamulinda wamundi. Namu ni paluma, naka adulo, nene janu ni banulo, nega ututo, hai ni duwenyo, terengu ne muma, umrela wei wanazinyo, dari na go, hai dari go, la unarense rupela ha amua kuke Homa pinya tibu yeveno Agamba peñaña amuruzule Woi oh oh Woi oh oh Woi Nagutu, no mucho, haji no, ogisiebo no, sipa. Nilumuti bidi makunda dinalau, nilumuti nidi makunda dibulau. Abidiga buka bala badugana, abidiga no kabala na dugabau. Bugatti ya beno la tuga Bugatti se hadina lang luweke la buga woi dança sucereteia, oli da ubole. Kanapa kumye aye irahi hadu kurigo. Ule wali wa mitarati wa wetu o. Mapuse gariti wa gara kupa wa maru o. Sagu bagara rago, maniha bagambu be mahaya irahi yo manaseo agu kurigo. Sagu bagara rago, maniha bagambu be menebe abu haya irahi yo o agu kurigo. Sagu bagara rago.
No madale, ise tipo no madato, no mariba tipo. Ay ay, la dura ise tipo no. Yeah yeah yeah, ise tipo no. Yeah yeah yeah, tu mage binaro. Yeah yeah yeah, ise tipo no. Yeah, la dura ise tipo no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, la, la, la. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sambi ni mutiti dana nigi. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, la, 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 yeah. La dura ise ti bono. Ay, la dura ise ti bono. Hey.
Si te hago llorar, perdona si te hago sufrir, pero es que no está en mis manos, pero es que no está en mis manos. Me he enamorado, me he enamorado, me enamoré. Perdona si te causo dolor, perdona si te digo adiós. ¿Cómo decirle que te amo? ¿Cómo decirle que te amo si me ha preguntado? Yo le dije que no, yo le dije que no. Con ella y contigo, a ella la quiero y a ti te he olvidado. Si tú quieres seremos amigos, yo te ayudo a olvidar el pasado. No te aferres, ya no te aferres a lo imposible, ya no te hagas ni me hagas más daño, ya no, no. Tú bien sabes que no fue mi culpa.
Once in every lifetime, there comes a love like this. Oh, 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 oh. But there is nothing sweeter than my sweet love for you. Oh, 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 oh. Yes, I'm holding on. Yes, I'm holding on. I love you, love you, love you. I want you, want you, want you. Love you, love you. I want you, want you, want you. Yeah, cause you're my baba sugar. Yes, you sweet like pumpkin cake, baba sugar. I want you, know, baba sugar. I
Okay, once again, this is DJ Labuga, straight from Long Beach, California. This is your weekly show, Garifuna Music and Talk, that comes to you every Wednesday from 8:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Today we have a special interview with Junior Guerrero, a.k.a. Big June. Big Junior, is the prodigal son of Mr. Benny Guerrero, a classical trained musician in the early Garifuna musical spectrum. He recorded his musical imprint on vinyls in his band Los Satelites de Honduras. We're talking about Big Junior's dad right now, Mr. Benny Guerrero. So he started with Los Satelites de Honduras. He co-founded Grupo H, and Eduardo Ballesteros y su grupo, and he did some freelancing with Fuerza Brava and a few Puerto Rican and Dominican bands while in New York. Then Benny Guerrero, Big June's father, went on to co-found La Gran Tribu Garifuna in New York, where he was the co-director and keyboard player. Benny Guerrero later moved to Houston, Texas. This makes Big June, our guest tonight, a musical legacy, which he embodied as he started his journey at the early age of 5, playing with his father, then with the emerging Garifuna Kids band. As part of Garifuna Kids, Big Junior got the necessary exposure. Hold on, that must be Big June right there calling the radio station. Okay, Big June. How are you, Big June? Good night. All right. Hold on, let me turn up the volume here real quick. I could barely hear you. Okay, I think we got it. Go ahead and talk to me.
What's up, DJ Labuga? How you doing? Good night to everyone.
Okay, hold on. One more time.
DJ Labuga, you hear me?
Okay, hold on. We're going to try to get this thing going. Keep talking, Big June.
Yeah. Mr. Labuga, what's up?
Yeah, hold on. The signal is really low. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Big June.
Yeah,
Welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga.
What's up, DJ Labuga? Good night.
All right.
How's everything going?
Man, everything is going good. Hold on, man. Let me play some music. Let me fix this microphone real quick, and then we'll get back with the long-awaited interview with Big June. Just a second. Okay, beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome this evening from the beautiful city of Houston, Texas, Mr. Junior Guerrero.
Hey, what's up, DJ Labuga?
What's going on, Big June? Man, we're so glad that we have you online. A lot of our fans are waiting for this interview as they want to find out who is the man behind all these prolific recordings in the Garifuna community, and of course in Honduras with so many good bands like Los Rolands, Kazzabe, La Gran Banda, and many, many more. So let me read your bio real quick. I want you to take 1 minute to greet the audience, and then I'm going to read your bio so people get an idea who's behind the microphone, and then we'll go ahead and go with the full interview. So go ahead and greet the audience. Everybody's listening live and direct right here on Radio Centro America and LMB Roots Radio.
Foremost, and for this, having me with help and to be able to communicate myself with all these beautiful people that are listening at this time. This is Big Junior, originally from New York, the original Garifuna Kids, one of the Garifuna Kids, and here from Houston right now, and just anxious for this interview to let people know, what I've been doing all these years and what I've been up to.
Beautiful. Thank you, Big June. Now that you have made that introduction, I want to continue reading the bio. Then, as the early age of 5, as he started playing with his father, he joined the emerging Garifuna Kids band. As part of Garifuna Kids, Big Junior got the necessary exposure to show business that he needed to become the professional musician he is today. From 1997 through 1998, Big Junior joined the very first tour with Kazzabe Band from Honduras, managed by Mario Coto. Mr. Mario Coto is the owner of MC Productions in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, as a sound engineer, of course. This happened while he was working with Garifuna Boys band in Los Angeles, which is a spin-off of the original Garifuna Kids band, which had started to break up. Then Big June was hired to go back to Kazzabe on the next tour in the United States. Immediately after that tour, Mario Coto offered Big June a big deal, a deal saying that he was to go to work in Honduras, where all the MC Productions bands operate from, such as Los Rolands, Chicas Rolands, La Gran Banda, Kazzabe Agrupacion, etc. The initial idea was to move and live in Honduras while teaching sound engineering classes, but it never happened because Kazzabe's bass player got sick and Big June had to jump in as the bass player. From there, he was asked to play the keyboards. 1 year later, Big June took over as the band leader and director of the very popular Kazzabe Agrupacion. He worked with Kazzabe until the late 2004. In 2005, Big Junior co-founded DAM Productions and joined in as a recording label company's only producer. He was producing albums for La Gran Banda, Punto Clave, El Pueblo, El Torito, Alto Nivel, and Union Rock. These bands were signed by DAM Productions. In the late 2009, Big June decided to move back to the United States after living and working in Honduras for 10 years. He went back to his family in Houston, where he started doing some gigs, and he also began producing Garifuna artists such as the late Mateo Lambert, Figaga, and Cesar Flores Tucuman, just to mention a few of the locals. Of course, international and local bands. Eventually, Big June became part of Lakewood Church Spanish Choir, and months later, he got promoted to be the leader of the men's section of the choir. Big June is on such high demand today that he plays bass and drums for 2 other churches in the Houston area. Presently, Big June spends his time as a professional music engineer, mixing and engineering albums for a number of Dominican artists, such as, some are Christians and some are secular. He has been working on the production of albums for Manrique Avila, El Sheriff, as well as El Sheriff has completed an album about a year ago, which is yet to be released. He also has been working with Nibubles, Tono de Fe, Union Rock, Yamika, Christian albums. Of course, Big June is also collaborating with Big Kevin Ramirez, on his new production coming up. There is also work in progress with Kazzabe, Punto Clave, La Gran Banda, and Punta Cartel from Los Angeles. Big June is gearing up to go on tour in 1 week with the world-renowned Aurelio Martinez and with La Gran Banda coming up in the month of October. La Gran Banda is coming from Honduras on tour, so Big June will be joining them. Junior Guerrero is married and has 2 children. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome once more Mr. Big June.
Yeah. That was a lot of information. You got it done.
No, that's good, man. We see people want to know all these things because you've been around in the community for such a long time and have been such a good example for a lot of kids that, we have to say it. We have to come up and say the kind of work that you've been doing in the community, not only with Garifuna Kids, but also with many, many other bands that you have joined, including Kazzabe, Rolands, and many, many more. So, Big June, let's start with the very beginning of the musical career. You were born in New York, in the Bronx, right?
No, actually, I was Brooklyn, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Actually, at the house where I grew up at, my mother still lives there. My parents are separated. My dad lives in Orlando now. But that house where I was raised at, that place was it's very famous among the old musicians from New York because not only did the groups that were born in that basement rehearse there, but other groups as well used to rent out the basement to rehearse back in those years in the 80s and the early 90s. And that was one of the ways that I was able to meet and meet all these musicians, learn from a lot of them, and be able to form my own style for playing either bass, piano, or drums, or congas, whatever, any instrument that I play. From looking at all these musicians and obviously getting my own taste into it. In those years, I remember the earliest group was Los Satelites. They broke up in 1984, 85, around the time that I was starting to, get my hands wet, just playing around with drums. In that basement, I also recall even Labuga Boys. Labuga Boys, Bobby,
wow.
Labuga Boys. They used to rehearse there from time to time. There's a group now that's called Wagia with the owner is Santiago. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, Santiago at the time
He's from Labuga.
Yeah, exactly. When he got to New York, he used to go to my house as well to receive classes from my dad and also learn more stuff. A lot of musicians when they first got to New York, they used to go to that basement. GAHFU was one of them. GAHFU Nunez, he used to perform with my dad, and now I produced his last album. Actually, he's coming to my studio tomorrow to work on a new album for him and Gloria Alcides. So now the story continues. He started with my dad, and now he's working with me. So that's something I'm very honored, to be working with these musicians.
No, definitely, that's called a legacy. That's a legacy that you inherited, man.
Actually, and one of the drummers that taught me a lot is from Labuga, which is Dario Bengochea.
Oh,
he
yes.
Was one of the drummers, one of my dad's favorite drummers. My dad would take him into most of the groups that he would do, that he would build. He had him in Satelites when he came to New York.
Oh, wow.
After a while, that he was playing with the Satelites de Honduras, and then after a while, he didn't play with Grupo H, but he played. He played with Eduardo. My dad was around as well, and also he played. My dad brought him into Tribu Garifuna, and he was the last drummer that was with Tribu Garifuna. He was actually one there for the longest, and that he was one of the drummers that taught me a lot, and I admire him to this day. Dario Bengochea, I respect him, and also the late Galo. He's the drummer from Honduras that also used to play with Tribu Garifuna and with the famous group called Gobana from Tunfo La Cruz, which is one of the pioneers from the style, from actually the style that Kazzabe style originally comes from that from that group from Gobana, and that's where actually a lot of drummers we absorbed a lot from what he used to do in those years. I think he passed away sometime last year, and my respects to Galo. He's one of the best drummers from Honduras, Garifuna drummers.
That's the guy who they used to call El Bataquero.
I don't know his nickname. I know him by Galo. That's the only way I know him by. He used to play with before he died. He was playing with Cielpa.
Okay. Yes. I got you. Yes.
He was with Cielpa. Yeah.
Man, great information, Big June. This is history in the making.
I was raised around all these great talents, man, and all those. I mean, I picked up the best from all of them. I mean, I had great guidance, thank God. My parents always taught me what was right and wrong, and the things not to pick up, like drinking, all that stuff.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say I never did it. I did drink once in a while, but it's not something that took over me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Thank God, I was able to control that, and now I'm totally away from it. But it was like a special occasion kind of thing. Once I got older, and the legal age to do it, because one of the things that was taught to me is that once you out of your house, you have to always think like an artist, behave like an artist, and carry yourself like an artist. And that was one of the things that my dad taught me, and as well as the Roaches brothers. I respected them because those guys, they took care of me. I don't know if you know, but I was the youngest kid from Garifuna, in the Garifuna Kids. I was the youngest one.
Wow.
Youngest one. They had my passport. They had my birth certificate. My mother said, "My kid is in your hands. You have to take care of him. I make sure you have to work like a sister. If not, you're gonna have trouble."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was a big responsibility for the Roches brothers, for Don Julian, and whoever was around management.
Actually, my father was the first manager Garifuna Kids had.
Oh wow!
Because at the time the group started, what Julian said was totally right, and Herman seconded him. He was the one that came up with the idea. He was the founder, but at the time he was playing with Eduardo Ballesteros' grupo. He was the piano player from that group that my dad had made with Eduardo.
We're talking about Don Julian, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So after that, after one of the trips that he made to LA that he mentioned, which was true, he showed up. I guess he must have been thinking about it for a while, and I think he mentioned he spoke to Coco, he spoke to other guys, and then being that he was still performing with Eduardo, he was still a part of that group. He came to the house one day, to my house, and he spoke to my dad, and so I could be a part of the group.
Wow.
And my dad was like, okay, cool. But the group needed some kind of guidance. So my dad came in as a manager, and, all the parents came over to the house. They had a meeting, and we took it from there. Then I was a part of the group. The group used to rehearse in my house because I was the only one with a basement and with all the instruments, because my dad owned he had all the instruments there. So on the day that Tribu Garifuna went and rehearsed, then we used to rehearse, Garifuna Kids. And, Eddie Gregorio, Big Ed, he's the one that has all the videos because he used to record the rehearsals and stuff like that.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Well, we need to put those on YouTube, man. This is part of history of the Garifuna people living in New York. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. Garifuna Kids came a long, long way, and a lot of people can't even imagine what all we went through. Even to this day, we still, a lot of things that happen, stop happening in the Garifuna community is, certain things we started. Unfortunately, in different areas, we don't have that much support like the way we would like to, or the way we had before. But yeah, Garifuna Kids did a lot of things for the Garifuna culture, and I personally feel very happy and honored that all these new groups that are coming out are trying to do their best to make the music better and make the music be heard all over the world. And me personally, if I could be a part of that, I'll be more than glad to help. That's one of the reasons why I linked up with Big GAHFU to make all these all these things possible. Just give them help out with whatever I can and whatever knowledge I have throughout all these years. Give it off to someone else so they could take it further than where I've taken it.
No, definitely. I think the way you guys did the whole Garifuna Kids as a team, as a family, is the Garifuna way. You went around, talked to the parents. They made sure they covered the bases because it was a big responsibility. And I think the upper hand that you guys had is that you got your dad involved because your dad had all that exposure to music business, and he knew the in and out, so he was able to be the outsider, or at that point the insider, telling you guys what to expect and how to do business and how to be able to get this group to become what it was, Garifuna Kids Band.
One of the things, my dad wasn't able to manage the group too long because he was busy with his group, with Tribu Garifuna, and Tribu Garifuna were at that point trying to make moves as well because they were in the midst of recording their first cassette in that time, and they were kind of busy. They was performing, and my dad really didn't have enough time to deal with both groups. So after a while, I don't recall how long it was, but after a while, he stopped managing the group, and the group actually left on tour. Tribu Garifuna hit the road and never went back to New York. They left. They situated here in Houston, and then they left Houston. They stood in Miami for a while, and that's where the group finished at. If I'm not mistaken. The group broke up, I think, in Miami or here in Houston. I'm not too clear on that. But then after a while, my mother took me out of Garifuna Kids because I started doing bad in school. And one of the rules, one of the rules from the group was that you got to be doing good in school, and you gotta be disciplined. You can't just do whatever you want. If you're not doing good in school, no matter what, you gotta be out the group. So that's what happened, And I was starting to do bad because I was so into music, and my mother took me out, and I was out of the group for maybe 2 years, I think. And
wow.
In those 2 years, the group kept on playing. But my cousin went in to substitute me. My cousin, Onang Benedict, he's the owner and singer of Kirikai Facto.
Oh,
okay. Onang is he went in as a drummer. His father is also a music legend, El Famoso Chaparro Mantequilloso. He was the owner of Fuerza Brava.
Oh my goodness, another great band.
Exactly. So he had that. Onang is very talented. He plays. He plays bass. He plays everything. He's just like the rest of us. So he went in as a drummer, and so the group was rehearsing. I think sometimes in the Bronx and sometimes in Brooklyn. And then after that, he left the group. And when Roach's brothers took over the group, then they went to go look for me at my house, and they spoke to my mother, and they made the deal that they were gonna take care of me and make sure that everything was good. I was already doing better in school, so my mother said, okay, no problem. And that was in 1990 when I went back to GK, to Garifuna Kids. And then after that, the Garifuna, the Roach's brothers just took it all to a different level. When I came back in, Pising was already there, and we just took it to the whole different level. Tulio Melendez was also a part at that time as well. So I had a whole bunch of people looking over me, and it was good because it was like a brotherhood. Coco, Linky, Eddie, especially Eddie. Eddie was the one I used to look up to the most, and I used to be around him more, and he used to guide me, to a lot of things, and my respect, to Eddie and stuff like that, and to all of them, to all the guys. I look up to all of them. Actually, Linky is he lives here in Houston. And I was just with him last week Saturday, he's like, I think the only one that I'm close to at this point, because we live in the same city. But from time to time, I keep in contact with the rest of them. When I was in LA, I spoke to Coco over the phone with Georgie. So and he's my cousin as well. So I try to keep in contact with as many of them as I can. Sometimes people change phone numbers, so you tend to, disconnect. But I know where these guys at, and we got love for each other. And maybe one day we could probably do that reunion tour that we've been.
Yeah, that was my next question. Is there a possibility that you guys could come back for one performance in New York, one in Los Angeles, one in Houston, one in Honduras, one in Guatemala, and one in Belize, and then call it quits?
You see, the thing is that it could be done, and many promoters have tried to do it.
Wow!
But it's not as easy as it may seem, because the name has gotten so big, and it's not something that you just put together and okay, go play, and that's it. It's a lot of factors into this now. We all are now business oriented, so. I personally, I'm a promoter here in Houston, so I know the business, and so it's not like they're gonna tell me, okay, we're gonna pay you this amount and go, just get this reunion together. No, we've struggled so long for that name, and we've been through so much things to put that name where it's at, that we can't give that to a promoter. We have to do it ourselves.
No, you're right, man.
God
bless you, man. And I'm glad you think like that.
And it's not easy just to say, okay, yo, Link, yo, Coco, let's get together and perform this weekend. I mean, okay, then what we're gonna have to show for it? All these years we've been doing so much work, so much contribution to the Garifuna community, to the name itself of Garifuna Kids. The road trip was, they invested a lot of time, a lot of money. I mean, and they're not gonna get nothing. We're not gonna get anything. Everything gonna go to a promoter. It can't work that way.
No, man, great point.
So
Thank you.
Instead of just throwing it away, we prefer to wait and do it in the right time. You know, everything when it happens is God's timing, and that's the best timing that it could be done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, totally agree, man. I gotta give it to you, brother. That's the way a professional businessman thinks, man, and I applaud you for that. And I know you have acquired all this wisdom from the years of being around with so many musicians of the caliber of El Sheriff and of course promoters and producers like Mario Coto. You know, you hang with these people, you tend to learn, of course.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's always people always gonna find something negative to say about everybody, but I have been taught, you know, to always look at the positive side and get the best things from everyone. You know, I could be around the worst person in the industry, but there's something good about that person that I'm gonna find it, and I'm gonna use it to my advantage and learn from it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I've always been.
Man.
We don't have to say that all the bad things people said about Mario, about other promoters, about other people. We already know, but there's good things about those people as well. And those good things is what I've learned and what I've taken with me, and I ran with it. And I've also learned and studied about other things on my own, and that's what helped me, you know, be a little bit more better at what I do. I don't like to brag about myself, so I'm not going to say I'm the best. I'm not going to say anything about that. But if people feel that way about what I've done and about me, you know, I thank them, and I utmostly thank God for giving me that talent to be able to do what I do. And now in this, returning to Him, because like I said, now I'm a Christian and I worship the Lord, and I give Him, you know, all my talent. I can't just step away from doing secular music, because also that puts food on my table, you know, and it dress my kids. So I can't just step away from His business, and I'm not really out there in the club dancing or doing a whole bunch of things. You know what I'm saying? It's still work, and I'm doing it cleaning. I'm doing what I got to do. So you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, from time to time, I do go out and perform. You know, like you mentioned, I'm going on tour next week with Aurelio Martinez. We should be heading to Chicago and Indianapolis, I think, with his band, with the band and Garifuna Soul. I'm doing the Parranda projects and cultural events. And in October, I should be on the road with. In September also, I'm doing some events with Jetty. His farewell tour, because he's also dedicating his life to the Lord, and he's going to be moved, you know, getting out of that out of the secular ambient. So you know, we also getting that tour fixed, you know, up together for a couple of dates. I think in L.A., Houston, New York, and Florida. And then he's going to be calling it quits for the secular part of it, and just, you know, dedicating his life to the Lord. And in October, I should be doing a tour with La Gran Banda, October, November, and then, you know, wait for the end of the year, you know, to, you know, spend time with the family.
Man, great information. Big June, when you go on tour with the bands from Honduras, for example, La Gran Banda in this case, that comes all the way from Honduras, and they do a tour of the big cities in the United States, going after the Honduran, the Guatemalan, and the Latin market. Are you being hired by Mario Coto, or are you directly working with these bands?
No, well, for example, I do certain things for Mario. I don't work for him.
Right.
You could say in this case, I work with him. Last 2 weeks, Kazzabe came on tour, but unfortunately, the bass player couldn't come on his trip. Well, not as yet. He's going to be coming, but he hasn't gotten there yet. So I had to play with him 2 weeks ago. He called me. He was like, "I need you to. Can you help me out?" And you know, so I went for the weekend. We went to Dallas. We did Houston, and New Orleans, and I played the bass for that weekend. He pays me for what I do, and the group keeps going. And Kazzabe has always been you could say Kazzabe has been my baby, because when I took over Kazzabe, I changed a lot of things in that group, and we were able to do a lot of things. I'm not saying I took the group to a different level, but my vision helped the group go to a different level. And we did a lot of things, and I made a lot of things easier for Mario Coto and better for him. So that group, I special thing for that group. It's not my group, but I have that special love for that group, and for the guys that are there. He's real tight, and I did a lot of. I learned a lot from Kazzabe. I gained a lot of experience being a part of the group, and like I said, we did a lot of good things together. So that's one of the groups that I'm always going to be there to help in whatever the situation may be. As well, in this case, Gran Banda is not with Mario Coto. They haven't been with him since like 2004.
Oh, okay.
Actually, when they left his label, it was a little bit before. It was before I left. Months later, I left the company. That December 2004 actually, and in January that's when I started with DAM. That's where Gran Banda was signed to.
Oh, what's the name of the label? DAM, right?
Yeah, DAM Production. Yeah.
Okay, so that label is out of Houston. That's where you are right now. That's your company.
No, DAM Production is based out of Miami. No, it's not my company. It's a company that I co-founded along with Douglas Miranda. Him and his wife, his ex-wife wife at the time. They started the company, and I a part of that, but I didn't take ownership. But we started everything together, and they signed La Gran Banda. They signed Punto Clave. They signed Rafael Rosario. He is Los Hermanos Rosario lead singer. Rafa Rosario, that's his son.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they signed him. They already released him from the contract, but he was signed. His first album was released on the BAM. And the famous bachata singer, El Torito, Hector Acosta, El Torito, he is still signed to BAM. With he also, I produced a couple of tracks for. I went on tour with him as his engineer a few times and as his road manager. Here in the U.S. and we performed together in Dominican Republic. We did a lot of things together.
So that means that this gentleman that you are partnering with, that he is Puerto Rican or Dominican or Cuban. What is he?
He's from Honduras. He's from Puerto Cortez.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's from Puerto Cortez. He actually he doesn't own the company anymore. They like I said, they separated. So his ex-wife is in full control of the label.
Okay.
And she is the one that's managing it now. I don't work with them anymore either. I'm not with that label anymore. I'm doing my own thing. I have three different companies that I move that I mind. Thank God. I have DJ Records, which is basically a recording studio. Mm-hmm. I have Latin Star Productions, which is my promotional booking and management company for the secular artists, and I have J. Guerrero Productions, which is a Christian label. Okay, which is a Christian label, and that's those are the three companies that I move and that I work now. So I don't work for anybody. I have my own companies. I work for myself, and just trying to make ends meet and do what I have to do in the music industry. I don't see myself. I have worked in different industries and stuff, but I like to do what makes me feel happy, and that's making music. 80% of the population here in the United States not really happy with what they do for a living. But I ask God to make me and to let me do what makes me happy and to dedicate my time to in the industry and in the job that I enjoy. And what I enjoy most is doing music.
Definitely. Congratulations,
that's
man. I am glad you are happy. You are a good asset to the community, not only the Garifuna community, but the Caribbean community as a whole. I think that working with artists with the caliber of El Torito, Hector El Torito, and many, many more that you have mentioned, it's a big asset. I think you are by far the only producer and recording engineer out there from the diaspora, from the Garifuna diaspora, that is doing this caliber of work.
Hey, you know, there's a lot of things that I left out and I even forgot about. And so now that we're talking, I'm remembering. I remember when I started doing my management, thing when I was living in LA. Actually, you remember Beto Flores?
Yes.
He used to own Fuerza Garifuna.
Yes.
And I
Beto
remember
Flores.
he was a very busy person. So when I was living in LA, working with Garifuna Boys, I remember he sent me to Belize twice to manage Fuerza Garifuna. We took them from Honduras to Belize on the tour, and being that I already had that, I was known in Belize for going there with Garifuna Kids, and I knew a lot of most of the people, radio station. So he sent me as his representative and managing Fuerza Garifuna in Belize. We played. We grouped up with Ugaro at the time, with Barbara Norales and all that stuff. Actually, Ugaro's first album was recorded in New York. Actually, I recorded it at the studio where we recorded Garifuna Kids albums.
That's the one with the barking dog, right?
Yeah. No. That's actually the second album.
The second album.
The first one. The first one is the cover is like purple. Adrian the Doc Martinez was the singer at the time of the group.
Man, I don't think I have that album, man. I need to buy a copy from you from that if you still have.
I have it in my computer. I'll send it to you, maybe later on tonight.
Yeah. What I have is the album with Manda Dog. That's the one that I'm
Manda
talking
Dog.
about.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was a part of that album as well.
Oh,
I was a part of that one as well.
Nice.
But the first one,
Yeah.
I played bass on the whole album. I remember because the bass player, I think he didn't come on tour with them at the time, so I recorded the bass on the whole album and recorded it. And I didn't mix it, but I recorded at the time. And I was actually I took them to the studio. I was the driver at the time too. I was doing everything.
Wow. Man, now Punta Cartel. What's the deal with Punta Cartel? Man, I know the band is huge right here in Los Angeles, and you came about 2 months ago. You spent a good time right here with them in the studio, working on their brand new album. Give us an update. I know Rafa is very, very happy with the work you're doing, and so is each and every one of the band members of Punta Cartel.
Yeah, Punta Cartel is a group that I've always liked. I've always liked working with Rafa. He's a great businessman. He's when you have someone else that is not from your culture investing and dedicating time and taking loss, in your culture, that's something that you have to admire because he doesn't have to do that, but he's chosen to do it because he likes it and he sees the need for it, and that's something that we have to respect. And he might not be Honduran, but he feels like he's a Honduran, and he feels like he's a Garifuna. He likes the music, and he likes to support the artists. I mean, and he's, like I said, a lot of people might not know this, but he's lost a lot of money, and he has suffered a lot. But he also, he's had his good time, but his satisfaction is to see, people dancing and people liking his group and liking all the groups. You know what I'm saying? He's not selfish. He doesn't deal just with his own group. He deals with other groups as well and promotes and I like that, and that's why I decided to work with him on besides working with him as a promoter, because he also hired and made a couple of events with Chetty's, but I was like, we shouldn't leave it just at that. We need to take this business further and do something else together, and that's when we kept the relationship. Actually, he hired. He's been working with me indirectly since I was in Garifuna Kids, and then we did stuff together when I was in Kazzabe, and then even with Gran Banda, when I was with him on tour, he hired us a couple of times. But now I'm working with him directly, and like I said, he's a great person. Punta Cartel right now, we finished the album already. 10 songs, very nice album. I didn't want to take it away from the original style. I kept that, conserved that, but just put a little different flavor to it. And to me, it sounds beautiful. I love it. A lot of the people that I've met listen to it, they love it. They're like, wow, this is something very nice. and even Rafa, he loves it. The guys from the group love it, and now I'm actually a part of the team. I'm indirectly one of the managers from the group, and helping them, assisting them from the outside. So it's whatever knowledge that I have. Like I said, I like to share it. I don't need to be on a salary to help you out. You know what I'm saying? And with them, that's the way it is. They in LA, I'm here in Houston, and I'm still always looking over them, making sure they're doing what they got to do, and making sure that things are working the way it should be. And and I'm happy about it. I love the group. They're doing good. Hopefully, when I finish my tour with Aurelio, I should be going to LA maybe for a week or so. Go check things out, and then continue doing what I have to do.
Beautiful, man. Big June, you have a big heart, man. We love you, and when you're in LA, man, I want you to come to the house and to the studio. Maybe we could do a live show from my office here, from the studios in Long Beach. We're going to take a quick break. I want you to hold the thoughts. I know you have a lot in your mind that you want to share with the audience. I want to acknowledge the audience that is listening. We have a packed house tonight. We have so many people from New York and from Los Angeles as well, and many people in between. Of course, there's a lot of people in Houston who follow you, listening to either Radio Centroamerica in Los Angeles, www.radiocentroamerica.com, or our lmbroots.com. That's the LMB Roots Radio in New York. You could listen to us directly by going into the website of the radio stations, or if you have a smartphone, you could download it. You could download iTunes, and if you already have iTunes, TuneIn. That's the application, TuneIn. Once you download TuneIn, then you can look up Radio Centroamerica or LMB Radio, and you should be able to listen fine from your smartphone. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga every Wednesday live from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. We are blessed to have one of the biggest and most prolific promoters and producers from the Garifuna diaspora, legend himself, Mr. Junior Guerrero, a.k.a. Big June. We're going to go into a commercial. We're going to let you know, for those of you who are in Las Vegas this weekend, that Black Coral Cafe, owned by a Garifuna guy, Lali Nunez, will be opening its doors to everybody on Saturday. There's going to be an all-day food giveaway, live music with a live band, and of course DJ Labuga will be spinning the music live this Saturday. So don't forget, if you are in Las Vegas or if you are traveling to Las Vegas this weekend, don't forget to check us out. And here goes the commercial. Hold on.
Visiting Las Vegas or live in Las Vegas? Black Coral Cafe Blazing Caribbean and American Cuisine Restaurant is just a place you can enjoy breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're open Tuesdays to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sundays from 12 noon to 5 p.m. Closed on Mondays. At Black Coral Cafe Restaurant in Las Vegas, you can enjoy all your Blazing, Caribbean, and American cuisine. We're located at 380 West Sahara Avenue. We also do catering for parties, weddings, and more. Call us at 702-579-5099. That's 702-579-5099. What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas.
This is Jerry Castro, and thank you for tuning in to Radio Centroamerica and its host, DJ Labuga, Ronnie Figueroa, every Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m.
Welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga on www.radiocentroamerica.com. Now going global through New York's newest LMB Roots Radio. Tune in by dialing www.lmbroots.com. And if you have TuneIn application on your smartphone, look it up under LMB Radio. LMB Radio. Welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga every Wednesday from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. This is DJ Labuga live and direct, acknowledging the presence of many, many wonderful people who are on the other side of their computers or their smartphones. All of our listeners in the East Coast in New York listening to LMB Radio, LMB roots.com radio, and of course in Los Angeles, West Coast, to radiocentroamerica.com. Thank you again for those of you from Houston who are checking in. There's a lot of people in Houston who follow you there, Big June. So we are proud to have you, and thank you for accepting the invitation to be live with us from our studios in Long Beach, California. Big June, I want to play one song from El Torito. I know you sent me quite a few tracks, and I wanted to show the people who are listening to the show the type of work that you do, not only with punta, but with other genre, other styles of music. So I want to play, let's see, what is the song by El Torito right here that I'm trying to find? If you remember the name of the song, maybe I could find it.
One of the ones that I sent you, I think it was Mil Cartas.
Oh, okay. How about Popurrí, El Torito?
Oh yeah, that one is that's not actually him that sings it. That was one of the new releases that I did for Marrique Avila. He's a Honduran artist. He lives here now in Houston, and that's actually one of his songs from his new album.
Okay, so it's a
tribute to El Torito.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna play this song. It's called Popurrí del Torito. And this is the work that Big Junior is doing in the studios in Houston, and he's been doing for quite a long time. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Big June in the work that he's doing.
Y este es un homenaje para Héctor Acosta, El Torito, de parte de Enrique. ¡Ese soy yo! Me dirás, basta ya, y se irá de mi lado. Yo la vi junto a él, comprendí que había perdido.
Sus ojos me gritaban que la amara, como hace mucho que no hace conmigo. Me mira hoy con pena porque sabe
que el amo locamente como ayer.
Recuerdo aquella luna en su cuarto y el viento acariciándole la cara, cuando éramos felices de estar juntos.
Y ahora otro sueño nos separa.
Lloraré,
quizás sí, quizás no, si no lloras tú.
Escribiré,
quizás sí, quizás no, si no escribes tú.
Miénteme,
no me importa creer lo que digas tú.
Olvidaré,
yo no te he visto con él, si lo juras tú. ¿A quién le cuento en este bar mi sufrimiento? ¿Con quién me iré a desahogar si es que no encuentro? Ya había escuchado tantas veces que el amar y el querer no es igual. Lo que no pudo nunca nadie fue decirme que me ibas a dejar.
El Torito del reggaetón, a lo que no creían, muchachito, sigo siendo yo. El Torito, reggaetón romántico, la voz melódica.
Hola amigos, soy yo. Vengo llegando de un viaje que la suerte me cambió, en busca de posición, para brindarle a mi princesa lo más bello, lo mejor. Ella es mi doncella, ella es la mujer más bella. Estoy muriendo por verla, entre mis brazos tenerla.
Esa mujer ya no te pertenece,
una mejor vida, un futuro mejor al lado mío, sin mentiras. Ella me dejó por tu posición, me encantó tu propuesta.
Okay, let's get back to the conversation, man. This is beautiful. This is the kind of work that Big June is doing with El Torito and many more artists who go to his studios and keep looking for him because of the quality of work he's able to put out in the studio. Big June.
Yeah.
Man, that's beautiful, man. That's some nice work right there con El Torito and a little bit of reggaeton.
Yeah. Actually, that song was done. That song was done like almost 6 years ago. And the video, people can see the video online. They can just put Mil Cartas del Pueblo, and they'll see the video was actually done in Costa Rica. It's a nice video, something different. Actually, El Pueblo, that was one of my creations. Actually, I actually made the concept of the group before actually making the group. If whoever, I mean, you might find some listeners that have followed music or the artists from Honduras, and they probably know a little bit about El Pueblo. But El Pueblo was a reggaeton group that I made in 2005 of six artists, 6 solo artists, and I put them all together in one group. A lot of people thought it wasn't going to be possible because all the artists that I chose were solo artists, and they were very successful as individuals. And a lot of people thought due to the egos and stuff like that, they weren't going to be able to work together. But I have one of my best qualities, I think, is being able to work with people, and I made it possible for all those guys to work together and love each other as brothers, and give each other credit, and get the best out of everybody. I was able to get the best out of all of them and make that group. And we did a lot of good things. We toured Mexico for a month. We toured the U.S. like 4 or 5 times. We toured Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. We did, they went to Panama, we did Costa Rica. We did a lot of things together. Actually, I'm not too fond of reggaeton, but I got into it because of the business. At the time.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I got into it because of the business, and one thing that I said to myself many years ago, I was like, in order for me to be the best, or at least one of the best, I need to like all genres, like all rhythms, and listen to everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of my relatives used to laugh at me and be surprised that one of my favorite genres was rancheras, corridos. But Tigres del Norte is my favorite group. And people be like, "What?" That's very weird. But if you go into my computer, you see my playlist, you'll be like, "Wow, what all this type of music?" And my thing is that, okay, in order for me to be a good producer, I need to know how to play everything, know how to play all these rhythms, because I don't know when I'm gonna find a client that wants me to produce it. So I need to learn and like it.
That's right. Hey, you never know.
Up to this time, thank God, I haven't had a need to reject something because I couldn't do it. Thank God.
Yes, man.
I've done salsa for Puerto Rican people. I've done bachata. I've done merengue. I've done everything, and a lot of the rhythms, a lot of the songs that I've done in Honduras became actual classics and became hits. So that makes me feel good. I mean, it lets me know that I'm on the right track.
Yes, man.
But I still got a lot to learn, man. I mean, it's a long way. The time keeps changing, the style keeps changing. We gotta change along with it, and
oh yeah,
keep up, updating ourselves and stick to the game.
Before we move into the next question, I have a good question to ask you, and it's not so much of a question, but it's something that we could really dig and talk about it. Dina Sanchez said hello. She's listening in Los Angeles. You know who Dina Sanchez is?
Oh, yeah.
Miss Dina.
I was a kid.
Yes, Miss Dina Sanchez. She's related to Hacho's wife. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And Romancito Marin also said hi. He said, DJ Labuga, please give Big June a big hug for me and tell him hello for me. He's having a big festival this weekend, so there you go, Romancito.
Oh yeah. That's my brother, man. We everybody knows well. We did Garifuna Boys together, and we worked a long way. We suffered a lot. We separated. Each one in our own ways, but he's doing good. I'm trying to maintain. So God bless him. I saw him actually a couple last month. He hired me as well to go perform at his restaurant Kazzabe Band here in New Orleans.
Oh wow, that's great.
We backed up Nino Arasu and Figaga. So that was a good show too.
Beautiful. No, definitely. No, he's having a big festival. This when is this? Let's see, it's on Sunday, the 31st of August. This weekend, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's a free admission for everybody. He's gonna have games, all kinds of things for the kids. Honduran food is gonna be at Copan Sula, 6030 Santa Fe Avenue, Huntington Park. For more information, you could call 323-589-1603. He's going to have a whole bunch of performers, including 501 Band, Livaña Baba, Mr. Nieto, New Rhythm, Select the Road Boy, Mr. Naughty Boy, DJ Berto Stali, Grupo Bamba. Is his Festival Viva Honduras this Sunday, the 31st of August. So, Big June, a lot of people out there, man. There's a lot of Spanish people who have never listened to my show that are tuning in, man. It's countless people. I don't know if the signal has dropped or not because of the bandwidth. It's so fat right now that I don't know if we're going to be able to hold all these people. The bandwidth, man, it depends on how much people we have online. That's the quality of the broadcast that we have. But thank God we have radio, LMB Radio in New York to help us out with the number of people who are trying to get in. So if you can't get in on Radio Centro America, make sure you try lmbroots.com radio. And it's just www.lmbroots.com. And if you can't get in, I want you to go and download TuneIn on your computer, whether it's a smartphone or a desktop or any type of computer. Download TuneIn application, and then you could listen from TuneIn to either Radio Centro America or LMB Roots Radio. So back to you, Big June.
Yeah. so it's I don't know if you have what was the question you wanted to ask?
Yes, man, definitely. Okay. I think I forgot, but it has to do with wow, this is deep. I forgot. I had it in the tip of my tongue when I announced it. Anyway, so let's move on to the next topic, man, and then we could always get back to it. Let's see. We could talk about. We already mentioned Garifuna Kids. Your father, who is a big influence on you. We mentioned the fact that you are a Christian today, and you do a lot of Christian music recordings, and you do follow the guidelines. Be a good husband, a good father for the two beautiful kids that you have. We have seen the pictures, and you show it yourself.
And actually, I have three kids. That was a typo, and I didn't send you the correction. I have three kids, two with my wife, and I have my oldest son, which is he's 16 now. He lives in Florida.
Oh, how beautiful!
His name is Shamari, and that's my oldest boy. But here at home, we have a boy and a girl, 12-year-old and a 9-year-old, and like you said, you've seen the pictures and stuff, and I try to do the best. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, and the good thing about it is that I'm able to admit it and go along and try to be better and learn from it. That's the same example I try to give my kids. My kids are also they inclined into music, but I don't want them to get distracted from their education like the way I did, and that wasn't even my parents' fault. That was my fault.
Yeah.
That was my fault from loving it so much, I guess, and just being stubborn and going towards wanting to be so much like my dad and just loving it, because I wasn't even in it for the money, because there wasn't no money to be made anyway. But in those years, we used to get sometimes $10, $20, and it started going up once we grew up, quote unquote, Garifuna Kids. We started making in the hundreds, for a night and stuff. But nobody was getting rich off of it, But it was something that was that was good. We loved it. Like I said, we weren't in this for the money, man. We took a lot of. We suffered a lot just because we wanted to be there and do it. We didn't want to compete with none of the other artists. Actually, we used to look up to the groups. Let me tell you something. On the weekend, when Garifuna Kids didn't perform, I used to meet up with Eddie and a couple of other friends, and we used to I used to rent a van. And we used to go to somebody's party. Whoever was playing, it could be Kazzabe Band, Estrella Hubo, and we go dance all night with them. Because we used to look up to all these groups. Those were our people that used to inspire us.
Yes.
We didn't want to copy them, but we wanted to, they inspired us to do, to be musicians as well and play and form our own style.
Yes.
But we used to love the way they played. We used to go, just go and look at them and then get on stage with them. I used to wind up playing when Estrella Hubo used to play. I used to always get up and wind up playing congas, and Eddie as well, because Estrella Hubo, when they started using like real congas, because they used to use electronic congas. When they started using real congas, they didn't always have Garifuna playing congas. They had Haitian, and they were kind of mixed.
Oh,
so,
wow.
So we was like, but we used to feel that something was missing. We used to like what they were doing, but we used to feel like something was missing. We wanted to get in there, and start playing. And sometimes they'll let me play, they'll let Eddie play, and then we'll be like, okay, now we're going to continue dancing.
And you know what? Estrella Hubo is one of my favorite bands, man. I remember when they came to L.A. 2 or 3 times, man, that was one of the top bands on my list of best Garifuna bands of all times. Man, I love them.
And actually, whoever purchased my recent album, the Garifuna All-Stars,
yes,
under the CD, you can see it says coming soon, Estrella Hubo Reencuentro. That's because I'm working. I'm working with them on getting them together for another album.
Oh, that would be great.
So that's another thing that that's been in the working for a while, and I'm going to be re-releasing my dad's Satelites album.
That's beautiful, man. You know what? You did a couple of songs from that album from your dad, and that was great. I loved it. I have the original vinyl of Los Satelites. I take care of it. It's hardly do I play it, but when I take it out, I dust it, and then I'll play it just for the listening pleasure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's something that actually when my dad gave me the reel-to-reels, the actual recording, the masters, I cried, and actually when I got it transferred to the systems that I use nowadays, which is the Pro Tools, I played everything from beginning to end, and you can hear like when they talking in the studio when they capture the song.
Oh my God!
And it just transported me to those days, like if I was in the studio with them. It's something so special, and even now talking about it gives me goosebumps.
How many albums from Los Satelites?
Satelites, they did 3 singles, and then they did the LP. And when they did the LP, they had, I think, like 2 or 3 songs that didn't make the album, but they're on the reel-to-reels. I have them.
Oh my God!
And so those songs, actually, there's a song there that my dad wrote for me. And I'm gonna release that on the album that I'm gonna bring out for the Satellite.
Man, God bless your heart, Big June. That's great news. Listen, I remember what I was gonna ask you. Okay, since you mentioned the fact that music is changing so fast, and that's a given. We know that from day one when bands like Estrella Hubo started, Kazzabe Band. Up until today, there has been a drastic change, especially when Garifuna Kids took over the stage and they came and they speeded up the drum machine, and it was just such a big change, drastic change. But today it's even more. Not as far as the speed of the drum machine, but I think the music is more diluted. We don't have the quality of lyrics that we used to hear from previous solo artists and bands. I think that now we have an influx of a lot of young bands. I mean, it could be good or it could be bad, but I wanted to ask you. I wanted to maybe throw it at you and say, since you talk about music changing, what do you think of what people are saying out there that we need to come to the table, we need to talk about the Garifuna music industry, something is wrong, we can't make any money no more because everything is pirated, you know, so what's your take on that?
It's a problem, and it has changed, and not all of it has changed for the best. A lot of things have gone wrong with especially the Garifuna community, and when it comes down to the music. The new bands aren't a problem, and this is something that's even happening in Honduras. I was just in Honduras recently in the month of March and April, around there, and it's the same problem with the Honduran music over there. And the thing is that we don't have all the creative minds. Either they're not active or they're not doing much, and the new people that are coming up don't have that same vision. They don't have the same vision as, for example, Garifuna Kids had when they were coming up. Okay, my vision, I could say, and I know, and I'm not speaking to myself, I'm speaking for everyone that's a part of Garifuna Kids, the original crew at the time. We did it because we loved it. We didn't do it because we wanted to pick up a girl that night at the club, or we wanted to look pretty. Okay, a lot of the artists nowadays want to be artists, want to be singers, want to be, you know, in a band because they want the fame. They want girls to go after them. They want to be able to pick up any girl at the club, and they don't necessarily have the essential tools to be an artist. You know, and that's we are suffering from that. The Garifuna culture is suffering from that all over the world. Wherever you find the Garifuna community, you find that problem. In Honduras, even with the with the Honduran market, you have that problem with all the groups. You know, for example, right now, Kazzabe is struggling to find a good another singer for the group, you know, in addition to the group. You know, there aren't any. Kazzabe has had problems for a couple of months or maybe a couple of years. You know, with the creative side of the group, to be able to create things that like things that were done before. And it's not only them; there's a lot of groups. A lot of groups don't have that creative side, and that's also damaging the market. And the piracy. You know, you're gonna find that all over the place. Everyone is suffering from that, but there's ways to work around it. Excuse me. The Garifuna community, there's ways you could still make money. It's not gonna be a whole lot of money, but there's ways that you can maintain yourself from it. But the thing is that we got to have that vision. We have to be positive, and we have to be. Your foundation has to be clean. And what I mean by that is your mindset has to be in the right place. Any root. If the root is bad, all the leaves that grows are going to be bad as well. I mean,
yeah, good point.
If the foundation, if the foundation is solid and is good, then everything else what comes up with it is going to be good, or even better. So if you don't have that, if you getting into the business for the wrong reasons, you either going to get tired of it, or you're going to be you're not going to be good at it, and people are not going to want to look at you or listen to you.
Yeah,
so
you know what I've seen.
Be around for much long, You
know what I have seen, Big June, also is the fact that a lot of the old timers, people like Figaga, people like Libaña Marraza, they are still making good music. They are bringing good music, but it looks like the youngsters are not embracing it. They want their sweet pain with the fast music, with even throwing examples. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that is something. Actually, that's one of the reasons. Excuse me. That's one of the reasons why I decided to do the Garifuna All-Star album, because I wanted to mix the old with the new, bring back songs that the old people used to dance and enjoy listening to, and mix it a little bit with some, with the newcomers, the new guys, but give it that old school feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was something, it's a shame though I wasn't able to promote my album the proper way due to personal issues. I had some health problems and I got sick and I couldn't do much with it. And I couldn't, I was most interested in setting up the tour and doing everything that I wanted to do at the initial process. But that was the idea of the album, because that's why it's so mixed. You have, I even have Titi Man on there because I wanted, when Titi Man hit New York, I remember in those years I was still with Legacy. We used to love his music, and at that time, the people that used to go dancing at that time, they don't go dancing anymore. Okay, yeah. Even the people that used to go dance with my dad's group, or the people that used to go dance with Garifuna Kids in the beginning, they don't go dancing anymore, or they just don't, because they don't know where to go. They don't like the new sound.
Yes, good point.
No one's doing music for them. Yeah. And and that's something that we got to always keep in mind. Actually, at this moment, I'm organizing an event for New York for December, for the old people. It's going to be for everybody, but it's targeted towards the old people. I'm going to have my dad there as a representative of Tribu Garifuna with the singer Lalito La Flores.
Wow.
And I'm going to have the band back them up, as doing a tribute to Tribu Garifuna. But it's going to be, and we're going to have some solo artists, but singing boleros and stuff like that. Things to go towards, so we could get those old people back out, even if it's for one night. But to have them come out and dance and enjoy themselves, and because I know it's been a long time since they haven't been able to do it, because everybody is the clubs now are just playing music that these people don't like.
Yeah.
Or that maybe it's not that they don't like, but they can't adjust to it. I remember when I left New York, the parties used to start at 9 o'clock, and the band started at 11. When I left and when I went back to play, I remember I went to go play with Cherif at the time, and it was 12 o'clock. It was 1 o'clock, and we didn't get on stage. I was like, "What happened? We're about to start until now." He said, I was like,
"Wow." Yes, you're right. Yeah.
And things is changing, and it's something that we have to adjust to. Yeah, but I think we have to do things. Me as a producer, as a promoter, as a person that's been with the old and the new, I think we have to do things for all crowds, all people.
Yeah.
Because as well as the young people go dance, but they don't spend money.
No, you're right. People, and I think we agree.
The old people are going to go dance and spend money and actually enjoy themselves, what I'm saying, and not fight.
Right. No, I think we agree. We're pretty much on the same note, that we need to bring back the old flavor, the old musicians, and recording with a new style. But when I mentioned Sweet Pain before, I don't want the audience to take it wrong and think that I don't like the band. I guess I just use them because they're one of the hottest bands right now. But I'm not hearing the lyrics, the quality of lyrics in the songs to really pull an audience across.
Another thing that's happening is that you have to have guidance. One way or the other, you need guidance. When we work with Garifuna Kids, and I don't want to bore people with Garifuna Kids, or even with Kazzabe, but these are the groups that I've been a part of, and that we use these methods. We had guidance in Garifuna Kids. We couldn't just come up with a song and just sing it and record it just like that. They had to go through process. The Roach brothers had to approve everything that we did. Why? Not just because they were management and owners, but just because they knew that they had to be careful what was being put out there, because we had to take care of the prestige of the group, the image. They had to take care of everything.
Image, yes.
We couldn't go singing, talking about any nasty stuff or anything like that, because we were kids. The image is for kids. So our music was always being supervised and guided. Most of it was our creation, yes. But they always just tell us, no, change this, or this is cool, or no, don't do that. And so we were good with that. And the same thing, for example, in Kazzabe, I had that discipline with me. So when I started leading the group and directing the group, everything that I produced, had to go through that same process. I need to know what you're talking about. I need to see the lyrics, and if it doesn't make sense, you're not singing it or we're not recording it. The arrangement has to be whatever I produce. It's going to be the same line of the group. Whoever else brings in an idea, it has to be the same. Follow under the same line of the group, musical line. So I mean, nowadays you don't find that. You find a whole bunch of people having computers in their house, recording themselves and making up songs that really don't make sense, or maybe songs that really are not danceable, or you can't really say, okay, I like this song. They're talking about something good. You have a lot of groups that are doing that nowadays. I like these groups. These groups are actually good. I mean, one of the groups that I have closest to me is GXC, because I work with them.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of good stuff. They do a lot of good stuff. And actually, it's not easy to accept a big camp style, because it's so futuristic. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of sounds going and all that, but it's good. It's something different, and when I mix his music, I try to get the best out of it, and then when he listens to it, he's like, wow. I mean, he even likes it even more, And so we work good together, and I also try to help him, give him advice and stuff like that. He's taking it and he's ran with it. He's doing a lot better than the way he started.
Oh yeah, definitely. Big June, one thing I wanted to tell you and ask you is, when you're ready to do this show in New York, make sure you book Los Angeles as well. You have a lot of people you can count on as far as the promotion and the production of this show. So if you bring in a show to New York, make sure you include Los Angeles.
Definitely.
Yes.
LA is becoming my second home now that I'm working with
Punta Cartel.
Yeah. And that is something that's taking me more frequently to LA. And so that's definitely going to be a spot to be taken into consideration to do the event. Definitely I'm gonna take it there.
Okay, beautiful. We're gonna play another song, Big June. I want to play one of the songs. I want you to select one of the songs that you send me, and then we're gonna play. We're gonna play two songs. We're gonna play them short, and then we're gonna get back. It's a great interview. We're learning a lot from a professional producer, promoter, sound engineer. His name is Junior Guerrero, and also known as Big June. So tell me two songs that you want me to play. I'll play them, and then we'll get back with more interview right here on Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga every Wednesday from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m.
Okay. Let me try to remember what I
Well, I have Verona, Ben Ben, Vayover no Moja.
Okay, yeah. You can play Bang Bang and Vayover no Moja. You can start with Vayover no Moja. That's a merengue with a calypso kind of feel that I did for La Gran Banda on their last album. And Bang Bang is one of the singles off of El Cherry's new album, Siempre Romantico Volume 2.
Beautiful. Thank you, Big June. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. We are live and direct from the studios in Long Beach, and we have on the line Junior Guerrero, a.k.a. Big June, former Garifuna Kid member and a promoter and producer and a sound engineer with this production company in Houston, Texas. Here we go with our commercial break and from our sponsors.
Visiting Las Vegas or live in Las Vegas? Black Coral Cafe Blazing Caribbean and American Cuisine Restaurant is just the place you can enjoy breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're open Tuesdays to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sundays from 12 noon to 5 p.m. Closed on Mondays. At Black Coral Cafe Restaurant in Las Vegas, you can enjoy all your blazing Caribbean and American cuisine. We're located at 380 West Sahara Avenue. We also do catering for parties, weddings, and more. Call us at 702-579-5099. That's 702-579-5099. What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas.
Welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga on www.radiocentroamerica.com. Now going global through New York's newest LMB Roots Radio. Tune in by dialing www.lmbroots.com. And if you have TuneIn application on your smartphone, look it up under LMB Radio. LMB Radio. Welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga every Wednesday from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m.
Cuando conjugo el amor con la meteorología, los Fahrenheit de mi corazón me dicen que tú eres mía.
Y cuando truenas por senos, produces melancolía, y las nubes de mis ojos llueven día tras día. ¡A toda máquina y sin frenos! ¡Gran Banda! ¡Tuyo civil! ¡Eso es lo que suena!
Tanto amenazas con irte y apartarte de mi lado, pronosticando tormenta, ya tú me tienes cansado.
De tanto decir lo mismo, y una llovizna se asoma a mi refugio que he preparado si un día llega tu partida.
Y ahora me estoy dando cuenta que no te vas, que es mentira. Y ahora me estoy dando cuenta que no te vas, que es mentira.
Y dices que te vas cada vez que te antoja, y yo te digo, mamita, pa' llover no moja.
Ay, dices que te vas cada vez que te antojas, y yo te digo, mamita,
pa' llover no moja. Y que va a llover no moja. Pa' llover no moja.
Ay, que va a llover no moja.
Pa' llover no moja. ¡Qué rico!
Pues sí.
Gran Banda, eso es lo que suena. De tanto decir lo mismo, que una llovizna se asoma a mi refugio que he preparado si un día llega tu partida.
Y ahora me estoy dando cuenta que no te vas, que es mentira. Y ahora me estoy dando cuenta que no te vas, que es mentira.
Y dices que te vas cada vez que te antojas, y yo te digo, mamita, pa' llover no moja.
Ay, dices que te vas cada vez que te antojas, y yo te digo, mamita,
pa' llover no moja. Y que va a llover no moja. Pa' llover no moja.
ay, que va a llover no moja.
Pa' llover no moja. Pa' llover no moja. Pa' llover no moja. Santo Domingo y Honduras, unidos por el merengue. ¡Ay! José Vera, ya tú sabes, Gran Bandizando el party otra vez.
Dígaselo al mundo, Chelito, que esto es una vaina bien, pero muy bien. ¡Ja!
Pa' llover no moja. Y que va a llover no moja. Pa' llover no moja.
Ay, que va a llover no moja.
Pa' llover no moja.
Ay, que va a llover.
Pa' llover no moja.
Que va a llover, que va a llover no moja.
Pa' llover no moja.
Hotel Everybody Baba Cheris otra vez, mami.
Ven, 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 ven a bailar conmigo. Ven, 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 ven a gozar conmigo. Llegó Machuca, vamos a bailar. Llegó Machuca, vamos a celebrar. Llegó el Cherry, vamos a disfrutar. Ay, llegó Machuca, vamos a bailar. Yo te digo, Tagalupa, ay, Tagalupa, Tagalupa, ay, Tagalupa, ay, Tagalupa, Tagalupa, Guadina. Sí, mamina, uy, me amoglo, sai, mamina, uy, ay, otra vez, mamina, sai, right, sí, higabo, higabo.
Yummy. Bueno, venga, erepa, hello. Vamos, mami. No, vámonos, achala, mami, tarala tejaña. Hello.
Qué rico. This is the kind of music that has come out of the studios from Junior Guerrero, a.k.a. Big June. Beautiful production there, Big June. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Actually, the first one that you heard, Vaivir No Moja, that production, I did some of it in Honduras, and the rest of it I did in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. And the Teddy track you heard was actually done 90% in Big Kev studio in New York. And then it was transferred over to my studio. I finished it. Yeah, Big Kev had to do with that song too. He actually played most of the instruments on it too.
Wow, no, nice song, man. Beautiful production.
Yeah. We like you know, it's a lot more. I mean, I sent you a lot of songs, and it's so many. Up to this date, I've produced over 35 albums, and I forget. I don't even have all of them in my possession. I forget from time to time what albums that I've done. I worked on. I remember even in LA with you. Remember I recorded Jones on a Never Say album.
Oh yes, true. That's true. We did it Never Say. That's right. Yeah.
And that was something that wasn't even planned. I was in LA. I don't know. I was working on my album, my first album, and I forgot what I was in LA for, and I wound up going to the studio. I don't know who took me. I don't know if it was Maki or with you. I don't remember, but we wound up getting to the studio, and I just recorded the drums on the whole album.
Man, I was paying $50 an hour for that studio, man. Very expensive, but the production was nice. It was completed, but I guess nowadays, we have to be able to put all the songs on downloads to be able to see the money. If you really want to see your money, you got to be able to put it on iTunes and eBay and I don't know what else. All of those companies that sell music.
That's the way now. That's the future, and we got, like I said, we got to move along with the game, because if not, we're gonna stay behind. And if we're still active in the industry, we got to evolve with it. And there's people in Europe buying my Garifuna All-Star album that I never imagined. Like I said, I never promoted the album, but I get there's people out there that are interested in Garifuna music, and they find their way to find it, not only my album, but everybody else's. And from time to time, I'm receiving royalty checks, and I'm receiving a whole bunch of things that I'm like, wow. People, the album's selling, and even things that I've done with El Pueblo, receiving royalty checks, and the group doesn't even exist anymore. So, when you have things done the right way, when you have guidance and you have that discipline, there's no way for you to go wrong unless you choose. Yes. But there's no, when you have that proper guidance, then there's no way you can't go wrong. You know what I'm saying?
A Big June question. There is a few companies out there, especially iTunes, where you are able to work out a deal with them, and you upload your songs, you sign the rights and everything. So make sure that the songs that you're uploading belong to you. I heard so many bad things about iTunes and other companies that you can't get your money out until there is a certain amount of money in sales. But I heard of other companies that are wholesalers, and you pay like $40 for one album per year to be there, like to showcase it. And whatever they sell it through iTunes, through CD Baby, through all these companies, and then you could get your money out anytime. What do you recommend for a new and upcoming artist who wants to sell his or her music on uploads or downloads?
Okay, I personally never worked directly with iTunes. When I made the Garifuna All-Star album, I manufactured the album with Discmaker, and one of the in the package was included a multimedia package, and I think it was like for like $50 they'll put my music on all the websites, Amazon, CD Baby, iTunes, and all that, and But when you in it and you log in, once you setting everything up, you stipulate the amount that you want. Like for example, when it reaches $50, then they start depositing. If there's only $20 there, if that $20 could be there for a year, you're not going to receive it unless you go in and reset your amount that's going to be going into your account. So when it reaches a certain amount, you choose. Okay, when it reaches, I'm going to reach $1,000. Then I want you to deposit. Okay, that's how it works with TuneCore, which is one of the wholesalers. That's the one I work with now, and they put it on all the.
TuneCore. Exactly, that's what I wanted to tell you. I wanted to mention TuneCore. I'm glad that you brought it up because TuneCore happens to be created by a producer who used to work with all these big companies prior to the piracy issues. Now that everything went to downloads, this guy was able to open his own company. He called it TuneCore, and it seems to me like the best venue, the best place to put your music because you pay a fee for one album. I think it's $40 or $50 a year, and he's able to wholesale it to iTunes, to CD Baby, and all these companies, and you're able to be in control of your own destiny, of your own business.
Exactly, yeah. And the same thing is with CD Baby. They do the same thing. Obviously, all these companies, they need to make money as well, so they take a certain percentage out of it. It's not much, but they do take, cents, and I don't recall the exact amount, but it's always good, for those companies to they don't promote, but they have the albums there accessible for anyone that needs to buy it. So and that's good. Like I said, I sold more online than what I did the physical copies of my album. Pretty soon, I'm going to be releasing other albums on the media, online, instead of having physical copies. I'm going to have the physical copies, but it won't. It's going to be until a little bit afterwards. But most of the albums are going to be coming out online now, being that that's the easiest way and the fastest way to get it across to the people.
Right. No, thank you, man. Thank you for helping us and for helping our listeners who are musicians. I know there is hundreds, if not thousands, of musicians or people who are DJs who are interested in this kind of music. Go ahead.
I want to thank you too, DJ Labuga, for taking your time out for doing what you're doing, because this is something that needed to be done a long time ago, and it's very little of us that are able to or that are willing to give back to our community one way or the other. The same thing for Julian Roches, that he's doing his thing with Puntology. The owner of Brava Sound, DJ Litos, they got their movement over there in New York and also in Honduras, and doing these radio stations, online things that let people listen to classical music, listen to the new stuff and everything. It's not easy. A lot of people may talk a lot, but to sit down and actually do these things and spend time doing it, it's not everyone that's going to do it. And I commend you guys, because you do that. You take your time out and do this, and it helps all of us. I mean, not only me as an artist or a producer or anything, but everyone else, all the people that you interview from the beginning up to now. I think I speak for all of us when I say that we're very grateful for you to take us into consideration. When you did the Garifuna Kids tribute, unfortunately, I usually go to sleep early, and I'm 2 hours ahead of you. So when you sent me the text that night, I was already knocked out, and I thought until the next day. I was like, oh man, I couldn't be a part of the interview, but I heard it online. I heard Julian talk, and I heard Herman Roches talk as well, and I felt good. I was like, wow, to this day, a lot of people talking about Garifuna Kids worldwide, and that's my presentation card. And a lot of places where I go, and even in Honduras, I mean, while I was there all these years, a lot of people spoke about Garifuna Kids. The politicians spoke about Garifuna Kids to me, and
Let me tell you one thing. Every time I do a show about Garifuna Kids, it's a full house. It's one of the most successful topics every time I do radio. So I know that I need to boost the ratings or something. I'll just do a Garifuna Kids show, and trust me, it's a sure thing that the people are going to come. start calling, get on the phone, and text and Facebook me, Messenger, all of that. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just the
And
appeal.
that's great. That's great, man. I still remember all those times we used to go to LA and the parties to be so crowded, man. And we were, just young kids. I think I was like 13, 14 at the time, and I didn't know what all that meant, but I was there. I was happy to be on my drums and play, do what I got to do, but it was nice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was nice, and actually I was looking at one of the pictures you reposted on my page on Facebook of me playing drums with Garifuna Kids. Actually, I was I think 8 years old in that picture.
My goodness. Wow, it looks like it was yesterday.
That was our first performance as a group in public. Actually, that night was so important to us because we were going to play with all the big groups. That party that night had almost all the groups from New York playing there.
Oh my God!
They had Los Dinámicos. Gobona played. My dad played with Tribu Garifuna. Grupo H played. A whole bunch of groups played, and one of the things that wasn't mentioned actually in the Garifuna Kids tribute was that night we didn't even have a name. We were
really?
All outside. Yeah, we were all outside just wondering what was going to be our name. We knew we were a group, but we didn't have a name.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and actually one of the lead singers from Grupo H, his name is Jose Luis. He's back in Honduras now. He walked past us and saw us in a huddle, and he heard our conversation, and he was like, and he just stood there listening to us, being nosy, but he was there, and he was like, so I don't know who gave a name, but then he said, "Why don't you call yourself Garifuna Kids?" So we all just looked at each other. He was like, "Yeah, that sounds good. That's it, Garifuna Kids. That's it." And then we went up on stage, and that was the name.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Now we know how the name Garifuna Kids came about. And you know what? With that in mind, Roche's brothers send a big shout out to you, man. They are listening, and they said, let's see, I have a message here that they sent for you. They actually tagged and wrote under one of the pictures and said, Roche's brothers, shout out to Big June. Best of luck with his career, and may God continue blessing him in his journey. God bless you too, Ronnie. Keep up the good job. Yes, man.
Amen. Yeah, and Roche's brothers, like I said, they played a big role in my career and in my life as as a person. Like I had the guidance before them, but when they took over, my dad wasn't around anymore, and they did the rest of the job. And those guys, like I said, they made the mistakes, and they did a lot of good stuff, too. I'm not going to waste time going over the mistakes. I'm going to just look at the positive things and take it from there, And those are my brothers. Dennis Roches, he's the one that lives in Honduras, actually. He's actually my compadre. He's my two kids' goddad.
Oh, wow.
So, we tight. We are very close, and, those guys are, those are my brothers, and I love them, and whenever I need their help in anything, they're always there for me. Even if it's not me, even if it's my mother or something, they're always there to help solve a problem for me.
Yes.
Those guys are very special, and they're good. For me, they're good people.
Yes. And Big June, also, as far as your acknowledgement of the kind of work that we're doing with the radio stations, I think that we took on this challenge because we saw that there was a void in the community, not to be able to have a radio station in the United States with either it's an AM or FM radio station, and not having the help with a lot of the Hispanic radio stations in the market, whether it's Miami, Los Angeles, New York. None of these radio stations want to play Garifuna music. We said, you know what? We don't have to wait for them to play the music. There was only one radio station back in the 80s, and I'm talking about 1985, 86, 87, FM 98, FM 98 here in Los Angeles, which was a Mexican radio station. It was Mexican dominated, but at nighttime, they used to have, and on the weekends, they used to have a special show, especially on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. they used to have a DJ from Honduras, a Latino guy, Chumago, and he used to play a lot of Rolands, a lot of Gran Banda, and he was the one that opened the doors for Banda Blanca. He started playing a lot of all this music that we had never heard of, you know. And then a lot of people got the wrong message, thinking that Punta music was made by Hispanics, by Latinos. And then people came to find out that indeed, when there was a demand and a lawsuit against Banda Blanca, that Punta music was actually owned by Garifuna people. So that was like a big wow for a lot of the people here in the West Coast that didn't know nothing about Garifuna or nothing about Punta music. Once Banda Blanca took over with Sopa de Caracol, and then the lawsuit came over, and then people started to find out that it was a Garifuna thing. A lot of people were in shock. They're like, what? They wanted to know more about it. Who are these people? Who are these black people from Central America? And it was a big uproar, man.
and there's to this day is a lot of issues with that. Houston is one of the places that you will listen to Punta on the radio station, but the only way you hear it is if there's a live, they transmitting live from a club, which usually happens Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the DJ will play a mix of Punta, and that's how you hear Punta on the radio station.
Wow.
Like maybe 11, 12, or 1 o'clock in the morning.
That doesn't do justice. That doesn't do justice,
exactly,
man. We need more.
Exactly. That's the only way you hear it. But this is an issue that not only Garifuna people suffer from. Everyone in the industry suffers from this because it's been controlled by a group of people, certain corporations, and there's a lot of money involved.
Well, let's say it's Univision. Univision is the one. They are the ones that monopolize the market, and all they market to is to Mexican people. Period.
When I started working with DAM, our plan was to take our music big, no matter what it was, but we were gonna take it big. And we reached the point, we were able to have El Pueblo playing on, a Honduran group playing on the radio stations here, but it was for a limited time. And after the money finished from what was paid to the publicist, then no more problems. That's it. Nobody knows about it, and it's gone, and that's it. No matter if you call and ask for the song, it's not going to be aired because there's no money. There's no more money coming in.
Yes.
Okay, so unfortunately, us Garifuna people, we don't have that kind of fund to pay all that money, that payola, which is illegal, for our music to play on the air.
Yeah, and what Big June is saying is that back in the days, or still they do it under the table, is that if you wanted your record played, you had to give money to the radio stations for them to play your music. So in a way, you had to buy your way into the radio station. But now with a market that is dominated by Univision, Sábado Gigante, which is owned by Univision, all they cater to is Mexicans. And then Telemundo.
There's a lot of money. There's a lot of money.
Yeah, of course. We understand there is a lot of money, but there is also the other people. I mean, on your neck of the woods, you probably hear more salsa and merengue. In New York, is dominated by Mexican music and by Caribbean artists from Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Cuba. But no space is given to Garifuna music or other music like African music per se.
Yeah, and you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it unless a millionaire decides to invest in our music. That's the only way it's going to happen.
And that's not going to happen because they know that there is no money in it. Really, they are looking at the masses. The more people a particular ethnic group has, the more chances that they are going to invest into it. And the biggest market right now is Mexicans, followed by Salvadorians, and then a little bit of everything else. But those are the two biggest.
But there is money to be made. The thing is that the Garifuna music has to be commercialized. And I'm not saying commercialized singing in Spanish only, or English. But when I say commercialized, I mean taking it to other ears. I remember when we were in Garifuna Kids, we used to sing on block parties in Brooklyn, where you have only black people, and we used to sing Garifuna, and they those people dancing, those black people dancing, those black people dancing.
Wow.
We used to go play. I remember we went to go play in SOBs. We were one of the first groups to go play at SOBs.
The Sounds of
One of
Brazil.
the first Garifuna,
In Manhattan.
my dad played there also with Garifuna. I remember James Lavelle played there afterwards and all that. But Garifuna Kids was one of the first groups to play there.
Wow.
With no promotion made for our people. So the only people that were there were Brazilian and the people that were going to that place at the time.
And what did they do?
They just got down dancing just like everyone else. I mean, they loved it. They loved it. They loved it. The thing is that there's no one to take the music to those people anymore. Because I mean, you need money to do that. That's money that we don't have.
No, you're right.
You know, you can make money with our music. Our music is very contagious. You listen to Punta, no matter in what state of mind you are, you're gonna start moving something in your body. I mean, and it's like that. A lot of people will listen to it and be like, "Wow, I don't know what they're saying, but it's contagious. You know, it's making me move. I like it."
Yeah, and you know what?
Like it's not only Punta, Parada is the same thing in other rhythms.
Yeah, beautiful music.
There's no one with that vision, at least that has the money and the vision, or has the money and is willing to invest it into the culture. So unfortunately, you know, we working without nails, like trabajando con las uñas, como dicen, you know what I'm saying, and it's kind of difficult. But we have to make use of what we have.
Yes.
Of our sources.
No, and that's why when you mention Don Julian, when you mention Brava Sound, and of course Radio Centro America and Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga, I mean, we're doing what we can. I could only invest 2 hours per week. You know, we work, we do a regular thing to keep our house, to keep the mortgage, to keep the wife happy and the whole family. But, you know, that's the only time because I do a lot of research. I do my research before I do the show. So I do my preparation 1 week before the actual Wednesday comes in. You know, as you know, exactly. I prepare and everything. So it's demanding. And I want to do a good show. I want to be able to keep these files and keep it on YouTube the way I do it and disseminate it so when people are able and ready to listen to them, they could download it and learn and have a little history told from the mouth of the lion, you know, coming from Big June and nobody else, you know what I mean? and that's why...
2 hours is not good enough, man. You're going to have to find a way to expand it more. And
we do.
And these people could get more and more of what they really want to know, and sometimes things that are not said or things that people just imagine but don't know if it's true or not. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
No, we do. We have a radio station, LMB, our sister radio station in New York, LMBRoots.com radio. They play Garifuna music 24/7. And of course, they add a little bit of dance hall and a little bit of this and that. But they do play Garifuna music. And when I say Garifuna music, they play dance hall in Garifuna, reggae in Garifuna, reggaeton in Garifuna, parranda, punta, and all the genres. But of course, they mix it up with a little bit of reggae, Jamaican reggae, and things like that. But I know Brava Sound used to do the same. Brava Sound still does a little bit of Garifuna music, but we all are pitching in and contributing, and I think we're making things better. That's what I do when I'm driving. I'm not on the radio. I listen to LMB Roots, and if they're playing something that I don't like, I go to bravasound.net, and sometimes they are playing what I like, and I stay there. So I pretty much stay between those two stations because there is nothing else out there that really drives me to want to listen 1 hour, 2 hours. You know, unless I'm on the air.
And that's the way it is. I mean, me as a producer and a businessman, after a while, you know, I had to start looking at this as, you know, not just for the love of it, but now you got to start making money off of it. Because now I got kids that I got to feed, and I got to eat, and I got to, you know, do a whole bunch of things. I got to pay my car notes and all that stuff. So that's why I started getting into producing different things and going all over the place and started to produce other things. You know, I was in Puerto Rico for quite a while, producing reggaeton and working with the reggaeton artists. You know, making money that I couldn't make in the Garifuna industry. As well as, you know, being in Santo Domingo for months and months, learning the merengue and the bachata feel and
Wow.
sound, and being able to now I'm benefiting off of that, because now in my area I'm mixing almost all the local merengue and bachata artists that are recording, even though they don't record in my studio, but everything passes through my studio at the end, and that's I'm benefiting off of everything that I've learned and all the sacrifice and all that. So it's not everything came from the Garifuna community, but that's where I started from, and that's my my respect goes to my people, and I'm Garifuna.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't speak Garifuna, but I mean, we have I'm not the only one. There's a lot of cases like that,
Yeah.
But my parents didn't speak to me in Garifuna. They know Garifuna, but they didn't speak to me in Garifuna. But I consider myself to be 100% Garifuna. I'm proud of it.
Of
And
course.
wherever I go, I say it. And my kids are mixed. My wife is Chimango, and my kids are mixed, and they consider themselves to be Garifuna. They black, so they're happy. They're happy about what they are.
Yeah.
They don't listen to too much Garifuna music, because in my house, I play a lot of different things. I play a lot of gospel. They sing a lot of gospel with me.
Okay.
They listen to the music that I produce. So and like I said, I barely produce Garifuna music. I don't do it as much as I do other things. So my kids, they listen. They have a mixture of everything. They just listen to everything. So it's a blessing.
Yes, man. No, man, I think you said it all. Big June, it's a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure having you on my show. I think you have really given us a lot of key points and good pointers on how to better do business in this industry called Garifuna music. And it's, like you said, beautiful music. It drives you crazy when you listen to it in the car, at home, on the radio, now that we have our radio stations. And I'm going to give you the microphone again so you can say good night and goodbye to the audience who is listening in New York, in the West Coast, right here in Los Angeles, and Belize, in Guatemala, and Honduras. We have a lot of listeners online. And thanks to Radio Centro America and Jonathan Silva in LMB Roots Radio in New York.
Well, thank you to LMB Radio, LMB Roots Radio, Radio Centro America, DJ Labuga, all the people that are part of this team to make it possible that not only myself but other producers and artists could get this information out to all you people that are listening. Thank you for supporting not only me as a musician, as an artist, but all the Garifuna music, all the artists. Thank you. We wouldn't be here or be in this industry this long if it wasn't for all your support. We need you guys. Thank you. Keep supporting us. All the new artists, all the albums that come out, buy them. We need support. Don't just get MP3 copies from your partners, from your friends, cousins. Help us out. Buy them, even if you buy one track on iTunes or something. That's contributing and helping us to get this across to the world, and keep doing what we're doing, what we like the most. Thank you once again, and God bless everyone.
Thank you, Big June, man. We thank you from the bottom of our heart for allowing us to interview you and share with the world your knowledge, your experience behind what you do, and what you do real good, man, because you have the wisdom and the legacy of a good father, of a good mother, and you have the blessings from God, the person who you worship, along with your kids and your family. So I want to take a minute also to thank the audience who was with us everywhere you're listening, whether it is on your smartphone or your desktop computer, or in whatever media you're listening. We are recording this show, so we're going to have this show back on. Hopefully by tomorrow it should be uploaded on YouTube. We're going to make it available on everybody's Facebook page, everybody who was listening tonight. And, of course, it will be available on demand 24/7. Big June, we're going to play a couple of songs to say goodbye. And I want you to select two songs, but I have Animalu, the song from your album that you did previously, and also I like Gaga. So which one, or you tell me which one.
Oh, those are from my first album.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it, man.
My
Nice.
solo album. Okay. Actually, let me see. Well, either one of them are good. Those songs are not my best choice, but whatever you like. I mean.
No, I mean, I got everything. I got you. Just tell me what you want to hear, something that represents you, and I'll play it. I mean, I have the recordings that you did with Nino Arzu, El Sheriff, Tucumán, Baby Lou, Young Gotti, and Emilio Núñez, Nueva Faceta.
Nuevo is one from the Garifuna All-Star album.
Oh, that's a beautiful one. Yes. Okay.
Nuevo, that's my man Young Gotti over there.
Okay. I'll play that one. And what else?
Emilio. What else did I send you? Did I send you anything by Nibuman?
No, nothing with Nibuman. No.
Yeah, I forgot to say that. That's one of the unreleased things also. What else? What else did I say?
I have Titi Man Flores. I have
that'd be a good one too. The one with Titi Man, yeah.
Okay, that's a new, beautiful one. I used to love that song when I used to go in the Bronx, and I used to listen to a lot of Honduran bands. I used to play it, man. And when you go in the Bronx, man, everybody's listening to Garifuna music, so you could listen to them out the door, out the window, the next door neighbor. Everybody's playing the latest Garifuna music they were able to pick up from Belize, from Honduras, from Guatemala, and everybody's trying to make a copy of it.
And actually, when Tito used to travel to New York, I used to back him up at the time when I was with Legacy. And that was one of our favorite songs as a group. And we used to love him, as an artist, all his music. So we was his favorite group. We was the only group that was backing him up in New York at the time. So
wow.
That's why I chose that song to redo it. Change up the little feel, keep it the Belizean, a little Belizean style, but put my feel to it, change the arrangement, and bring it out like that.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to listen to Big Junior featuring Titi Man Flores. Actually, it's Titi Man singing song Titi. And we're going to play the next song, Bucha Nuago, with Big Junior and Young Gotti, featuring also Emilio Núñez. Thank you, Big Jun. Appreciate it, man. We love you. Stay firm. Do what you're doing and keep doing what you're doing best, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks. God bless you guys.
Abaisini. Ayo.
the same kind of mimi, yeah. Breastfeeding the best for the little babies now. Matabami, so kade bakini, hi mama, oi papa, hi mama, hi. Matabami, so kade bakini, hi mama, oi papa, hi mama, hi. Matabami, so kade bakini, hi mama, oi papa, hi mama, hi. Matabami, so kade bakini, hi mama, oi papa, hi mama, hi.
My God! My God!
Aye. Tagaya yo Nyangari. Loba Big Joe. GH Records. Emilio Núñez. Musungube. Hey, Butano ago agamba balo yere. Butano ago agamba balo yere. Butano ago agamba balo yere. Hey, Butano ago agamba balo yere. Butano ago agamba balo yere. Butano ago agamba balo yere. Adumera hayaro no kutunuma. Dumera hayaro no kutunuma. Lunatoni kirulu hayo mamuto. Lunatoni kirulu hayo mamuto. Lunatoni kirulu hayo mamuto. Lunatoni kirulu hayo mamuto. Butano ago agamba balo yere. 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 Miamuga tehu deke natela kubalatia yangari tele. Musungube. Emilio Núñez. Agamba nabo. Ay. Bigiti bamba. Quieren unar usted. Marasa. Pillo. Pican. Haremos un atayaki. Guatical. Ay, porque no cuchile. Upagara balinuo. Porque no cuchile. Upagara balinuo. Dungu wayaki na Amerika. Waraluma yungarie. Salandikidana. Dungu wayaki na. Amagarina guya. Wayaki na Amerika. Waraluma yungarie. Luma yungarie. Salandikita. Wara. Amagarina guya. Wara. Amagarina guya. Amagarina guya. Aye. Tagaya yo te Samuana le. Yangari. Loba. El orgullo del pueblo. Emilio Núñez. Aye. Ay, porque yo no cuchile. Upagara balino. Ay, porque yo no cuchile. Upagara balino. Ay, upagara balino. Oye, vamos upagara balino. Ay, porque yo no cuchile. Upagara balino. Ay, porque yo no cuchile.
le bichu beno prodigal yage wabinaha Dale bafuri du kubiye giye barina ya bo barasero Dale bafuri du kubiye giye barina ya bo barasero Aye da bo bisiye aye da baby biye heme mela muka bao aye da bo bisiye aye da baby biye heme mela muka bao Dale bafuri du kubiye giye barina ya bo barasero Dale bafuri du kubiye giye ma barina ya bo barasero
Bueno, una vez más, acá ya yo tenía un cari. Los volumen Emilio Núñez. Y como dice mi amigo Big Junior, si no hay cintura, con la varillita, mami.
Visiting Las Vegas or live in Las Vegas? Black Coral Cafe Belize Caribbean and American Cuisine Restaurant is just a place you can enjoy breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're open Tuesdays to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sundays from 12 noon to 5 p.m. Closed on Mondays. At Black Coral Cafe Restaurant in Las Vegas, you can enjoy all your Belizean, Caribbean, and American cuisine. We're located at 380 West Sahara Avenue. We also do catering for parties, weddings, and more. Call us at 702-579-5099. That's 702-579-5099. What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas.
Welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga on www.radiocentroamerica.com. Now going global through New York's newest LMB Roots Radio. Tune in by dialing www.lmbroots.com. And if you have TuneIn application on your smartphone, look it up under LMB Radio. LMB Radio. Welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga every Wednesday from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m.
This is Jerry Castro, and thank you for tuning in to Radio Centro America and its host, DJ Labuga, Ronnie Figueroa, every Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m.